Welcome to day 20 of the Around the World in 30 Days creative YouTube collaboration. 30 inspiring creators, 30 destinations in 30 days. Hosted by Rach and Bella Crafts beginning August 1st, 2026. There is 31 days, but there's 30 days because Rachel started off with making our journal. We are on day 20, which is me. We had Faith and Grits on the 19th, which went to I will show you. And we have Rachel on Friday the 21st, which is after me. So keep that in mind so you can watch for that. Today we are going to do Through the Window, making a window pocket, my favorite, with an envelope. So now that housekeeping is out of the way, we are going to move on to showing you the progress of my travel journal. She's a wee bit thick. She's been on some adventures. She has. I pull this off every time I open up this journal. I probably will not be putting my page in here today. We'll see when I'm done. My pages, I should say. But for those of you that have been with me for this adventure, let's start from day one. It says, my travel journal, around the world. We've been to Norfolk Broads, and I did that. And then we have this little tiny flip page, and I put some little tiny recipe cards in here that came from the travel kit itself with these little pockets. As you can see, she's pretty hefty, so it's hard to flip her, but I love this. And then we went here, which was England. And then we went, this here was a video that I made for a design team project. I'll leave a link down before. We did not go here. This was from a design team project. And then we went to Ireland. And then I have this here for Ireland. I do have some extra pages in here because they are, you know. And then we went to Washington. And from Washington, we then went to Canada. Niagara Falls, Canada, to be exact. And then from Niagara Falls, Canada, we went to, where'd we go from there? We went to Paris. And then from, that's in Paris, that's where I met my donkey. And then from there we went to Vegas. That's where I went to a Pitbull concert, won $1 million. And then we had this nifty map that came out like this. Yep, we have that. And I've added tons to this. And then we went to Cambridge. Yep. And then I have recipes pretty much for everywhere in here, everywhere. And then we went to Japan. That was my first destination. I have a video on that where I made my secret pocket and my flip. Let's move over a little bit, Tara, because you're out of frame. Yep, there's my Japan. And as you know, that each one of my pages have a second half because of the way that I set my journal up. So there's, and then like, there's my Paris. There's where I met my donkey. You know, his name is Bedford. And this goes here. I knew there was a place for it. I just had to find a place where it went. And there's my other half of Niagara Falls with my windows. See? And Washington State, my other half of Washington State. There's my other half of when we went to Ireland. And then this is the other half of my design team project. Oh, excuse me. And then where was this one? I don't even remember where this one. Oh, this is where we went to Wales. The hike was my playlist for Wales. And then this was my waterfall that I made out of postcards. And then this was Amberside, where we made the door, or the house. And I used a little brad here for the door. Yep. And then this is when I went to Jamaica. Yep, I went to Jamaica. And then this was Rachel's freebie here. That was the music of the trip. Like all the music. My soundtrack. My journey soundtrack. And I made that. I know it's taking up a few minutes for me to do a flip through, but I wanted you to see everything that I've made along the way. Because I have been working. I had diligently been working. Yep. And then this is when we went to Italy. And this was when we just went here. Where did we go here? This was Wales. This is when we went to Wales. Yep. And this was yesterday. This was the 18th. And this was today. Well, I'm filming this on the 19th, so this would be considered today's. And that's what I did. Yep. And then I made these little things because I went to a book sale and a coffee shop sale. So there's that. And now we're up to, oh, there was the whale. I went on a whale watch. And then I don't know why everything has to move. It's because it's chunky. That's why it has to move. That is absolutely why it all has to. And then there's the rest of Jamaica. Just like that. I love this page. This is one of my favorite pages. There. And I like that page. And now we're here at Alaska. I cannot do really much on here because of the way this signature is like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this and then we're going to work. And then I'm going to be taking this apart, putting it all together. And when I'm done, I'll do, like when the whole collab is done, I'll do a complete flip through. But I just wanted to show you where I was at. Like I'm definitely in the third signature now. So from there. So now I'm going to show you the page. Let me make sure I got all the pages here. In my mini kit, these are the pages from my mini kit. This is one page. This is the second page. This is my third page. My postcards fronts, my postcard backs, the other page, and my cutouts. I think I have an extra page of this one here because there's only supposed to be 6. Let me see. Yeah, there's an extra page because I had already cut that out. So I have an extra page of that to work with. I did already do my fussy cuts. I did already do my postcards. And just like when we went to Japan, there will be no postcards filled out until tomorrow. So when I do my photos, they will be in tomorrow's photos. And those are the papers we're working with. I did do my extras, as always, like I did for Japan. I did Alaskan Artist Pocket Card for Marty Raney and Jewel. And my postcards are cut out, like I said. My recipe card is for Aurora Salmon Chowder. My boarding pass and my day in Anchorage. So, with that being said, we are going to now make my window pockets, and I'm going to use envelopes to make windows, as you know I would do that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you why I chose Alaska. I chose Alaska for a few reasons. I love the Northern Lights, and these would be the Northern Lights. They're also known for, the Northern Lights are also called the Aurora Lights. I want to put this on here, like so. But do I want to use that, or do I want to use like this for this to go up like this? Or do I want to, how do I want to do this, Goofy? How do you want to do this, Goofy? They're also called the Aurora Lights. And Alaska is very well known for them. Very well. Let's get this going here, and then we can chat some more about the Aurora Lights. I love the colors of the Aurora Lights. That's why I chose Alaska. also, Alaska is very self-sufficient. They have been self-sufficient. They have to do everything on their own, like literally everything on their own. And I love that. Like, why not be self-sufficient and do things on your own and not have to rely on the big consumerisms? And, you know, like, if you want a green pepper, then learn how to grow the green pepper. Like, I love that they have to teach everything to their families and all of that. Yes, they have grocery stores. Yes, it's extremely expensive there. But they don't have to worry about all the important stuff. That's what I love about Alaska. They have important people there. They have the important stuff there, but I love that they do a lot of stuff on their own. They're self-taught. They're that is what I love about Alaska. And I think that the shows that they do on TV don't give Alaska a lot of credit, if that makes sense. Like, they portray it out to be more like, I don't know. It just doesn't, it just gives me that weird vibe. But I would love to go to Alaska for the Northern Lights. I want to go to Alaska to see the Northern Lights. Yes, I do. Because they say that you can see them here where I am at, but I have never seen them. Never. But I would love to see them. Love to see them. I would wholeheartedly love to see them. Maybe one day I would. Also in Alaska, we are considered the lower 48 to them. We are not, they're not part of the 48, like Hawaii. We're considered the lower 48, which is funny. I find that funny. You have to fly into, you fly into Alaska. I crack up when they say that. It's the lower 48. Really? We're the lower 48 to you? Yes. The lower 48. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Why else did I choose Alaska? Let's see. I think that it is fun that they have more daylight. Well, we have daylight. Don't get me wrong. But I find it fun how they race against the clock to get what they need. Like, they know that, okay, we have these many days to get this amount of stuff done before snow falls. And they know the clock. They really know the clock. I think that's cool that they know the clock like that. That, okay, we have to get this done in this amount of time. That's just fun. I just find that not hilarious, but I find it cool. What's the other fun stuff? Let's see. They have very long golden sunsets. I would love to see a golden sunset. Honestly, I would love to see that. Let's see. What else is there? Right now I'm gluing. There is that. Their wildlife population is pretty unique. They have the same type of wildlife that we do here in the lower 48. Don't get me wrong on that. They do have the same wildlife. They just use every piece of what they hunt, if that makes sense. Like their pelts, their fur, like when I say pelt is the same as fur. The meat, their elders mean the world to them. Their elders, like, they do everything for their elders. Everything. So there's that. What else is there? I might bump into some famous people, never know with me. No, we're not going to a concert today. No, we're not doing that. Am I gonna make this a flip on the page? What are we doing with this, Tara? Make up your goofy little mind over here. No, I think I'm gonna make it a flip, but I'm going to fold these pieces over. I think. Because it will look more cleanly by doing that. Oh, why'd you put your glue pin in? You're losing your screws today, my child. You're losing your screws. Yeah, you definitely are losing your screws today, my child. I did not go here because of anything that is like, you know, some people have gone to places because, you know, they're known for their architecture or their, you know, big piece, like the space, whatever, or this, that, and the other. I went because of the sky. That's pretty much why I went. Yep, the sky. I like the sky. I like the northern lights. That's why I chose what I chose. I know that's a bizarre thing to choose something for, but this, if I can see the northern lights, I would be definitely happy. That's just, at the end of the day, that's just what makes me happy, is the colors, because I like colors. And yes, Alaska gets a lot of snow. I wouldn't go there in the wintertime. No, I would not go there in the wintertime. Nope. But if you asked me if I wanted to go there now, I'd say, okay, let's go. Because I would get on a plane and I'd go to Alaska with you. But if you were to ask me in the middle of January, I would say, no, sir, you're on your own. No, sir, you're on your own. So, I'm going to turn this. We're going to take this here. And we're going to turn this into a pocket. Yes, we're going to turn this into a pocket. So I got to get this where I want it. And then we're going to take glue and we're going to run glue down the edge of this like so. Because we're going to bump it right up to the edge of this envelope. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. To turn it into a pocket. Just like this. There we go. Just like so. Because I'm going to make it a flip on my page. That's why I'm doing the back side. If I wasn't making it a flip on the page, we wouldn't be covering the back side. But as I said, it's going to be a flip. So, and then I'm just going to put some glue here like so on here. Oh, and I'm using PVA glue this time, not art glitter glue. That's why you see a different bottle than the last time. I'm trying my hand at some PVA glue now. And now, yeah, I'm trying to be a better person and not use so much art glitter glue. We're gonna see how that works out for me, but Snips wants to try some PVA glue, so we're gonna try her out. No promises, no guarantees. Maybe by the next time we'll be playing in the art glitter glue again. But right now, this is how it's all rolled. This is how the cookie is crumbling here. And now, I want to put this on here, but will this come in and go? It will. It will. It will. Like I said, I'm just doing a little, you know, wasting doing this. I probably will cut most of this out. Maybe. Might speed it up a little. I do want to apologize for the last video if anybody was upset with the music. I forgot to turn the fan off and it was making a awful noise. And I thought that if I put a little bit of background noise, like the music to the background, it would have been better than having what I had. So that's what happened there. So please forgive me for that. I will make sure and be more conscious next time not to do something like that and not have such a distraction. But I was just trying to be where it wasn't so obnoxious with the fan noise. So please forgive me for that. Because normally I make sure that my background noise is not that bad. Or not that horrendous like it was that time. And it was pretty bad. The background noise was, anyways. And then once we have this on here like so, I can snip this off like here. And then I'm going to probably take my cutter, my little cutter here, like this, and come in, go across the top like that so it's open, which it is, just like so. See, our top is open like this, and we have a window. And then, let me find, this one here is not, will it go down in here is the question we need to know. Probably not. No, it will not. It will not go down in there. So we will take this, like this, go like this, fold it like this, and if this video is a little bit longer than normal, I am sorry, but this day here was really, I was been waiting for this day, so I want to make it extra special for you guys. I have been counting down the days until the 20th so that I could do this day for you. So please just hang with me while we make this day special for my travel journal while we travel into Alaska, because we are going to have a ball in Anchorage. Yes, we are going to have a ball in Anchorage. We're just making a tag now to put into the window pocket like this. We're going to go stick it down in here just like that. See, now we're in here. Then what we're going to do is we have these that I cut out, right? And this is the fun part, because we have this where we can take and cluster this like this and make a little cluster right here. So I'm going to take and make a cluster like this. We don't need this. Get this out. So we can put this onto this piece that's going in here. Let's do that quick. Put this on here. These are just the page I showed you that had the cutouts on, like that. That's all. I don't really like that one, so why don't we actually put the state of, no, let's just put a camera on here, because you're gonna take photos of that, and maybe we can put a bear. There we go. I like the bear. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put the bear and the camera, because you're gonna take photos of your northern lights anyways, because you want to be reminded of the beauty of the northern lights. So we're gonna put this. We're going to make us a tag. And then at the back, we can write about what we saw for the Northern Lights. And then we have a window pocket. There we go. And see? And it all shows through. And then down here, I'm going to take this extra piece that we had, like right here, and we are going to fold this in like so. Fold it in. And we're going to put it on here like that. And we're going to just take this, glue it in like this. I love the colors of the how the Northern Lights stand out on this. And we're going to bring it in. I just had to make sure we were still in frame so that you could see what I was doing. Like that. And then you can take this here and you could then decorate this like this. And I'm just gonna stick this in here like so. You're like, well, why are you putting another pocket there? Well, you know why I'm putting another pocket here is because I have this stuff, right? And I can take this and put that right there like that. And I think that looks pretty cool, right? So then when you flip this over like this, it goes on your page, right? But how are we gonna make a pocket on here? Well, we have a whole nother page right here. And what I'm gonna do with that to make a pocket for that is first I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this right below this window, right? I'm going to keep that for another page, and then I'm going to Northern Light it. First I'm going to glue this piece down here. Okay, I'm at the top. Alright, now come. I'm going to then take my corner rounder here, like so. I don't know where, there, I lost the bottom to that, so now I'm going to have confetti all over my desk, but what else is new with that? So we have that. So we're going to put that like so, and then we're going to glue this down so we have a pocket on here, right? Because we need a pocket. So, yep, I thought my thing was recording and it was not. All I did was put a photo in another pocket and went around, and now I'm just cutting the edges off, so I will show you what that looks like here in just a second. While I thought I was filming and I was not filming. So we have another pocket now that is a window pocket. I think this is going to look cool. I just tore pieces of paper and glued them around the edge like as a collage. And we have a pocket to put the goodies in, and I'll show you what the big pocket looks like in just a second also. And after that, I think we will be able to, ooh, yes, that came out pretty cool. Look at that. And then we have, like, it's open in the back. I think I want to round my corners though, because I think that would look cool if the corners were rounded. It's a little lopsided, and I like that because, you know, I'm lopsided myself, so I think that would be cool. Do you think we should put a little bit of lacy poo on there? What do you think about some lace? Oh yeah, oh yeah, let's put some lace at the bottom. Wouldn't that look cool with some lace at the bottom? But do we want to put it on the top of it? I think we should put it on the top because I think that would look cool. Let's cut a little piece of this off, the lace anyways. let's put some lace. I haven't put no lace in this whole entire journal, but I want to put some on this, so let's just go with it, right? And I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac to put some Fabri-Tac on it. Like I said, this video is going to be a little bit longer than my normals, unless I can cut some stuff out when I edit. But sorry about all the extras. And then I was gonna put some of these things on here. Let's see. We can put a cabin maybe and some trees behind it. Like that. Tara, stop messing around with all this stuff and just... Ooh, there's a bear. Why don't we do that? Oh, I like that, And then we can just drop the Alaskan Railroad thing in here. Like we could drop that up there. It doesn't have to be like right where it's supposed to. You can drop it in like so. And then, you know, we can have the plane coming in from this side. So it's all equal. Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty cool. So let's get a glue in so that we're not here for 1100 days. Because I'm sure you guys don't want to be here for 1100 days. Because when you go to Alaska, if you go to any place, you pretty much have to fly in or go by any type of ATV or sled or something like that, because most of the roads are dirt roads that they have in Alaska, because they're man-made roads. They're not like the roads that we have here in the lower 48, as they like to call it. I'm not an Alaskan. I really am not an Alaskan. I can promise you that. Sometimes I wish I was, but I am not. I'm a Northern New Yorker. That's what I am, a Northern New Yorker. I think that's pretty cool. So with that, I am going to then take and put in my 2 Alaskan pocket inserts. One's Jewel and one is Marty Rainey that I ran into. I ran into these 2 lovely people while I was at the day in Anchorage. I was at the Market Festival and I was at the Wild Conservation Center, and that's where I ran into them. And I had some salmon chowder, and I do have that recipe. Where is it? Right here. Right here. I had it tucked in right there. And where is my... I don't know where my boarding pass is. Where's my boarding pass? Did I lose my boarding pass? I did. I do have a boarding pass around here somewhere. I just misplaced it. But this is my recipe. This is my large window tag. These are my yep, I can't think. These are my postcards that I will take care of tomorrow when it's the day to do what I have to do. So they go there. These go here and there, and then I have to put that on the page. This is an extra one. I do have a whatchamacallit somewhere, don't know where it's at. I showed you my journal. Oh, that's it right there. There's my boarding pass. I have to put that in. That's an extra for that. I have those. And with that, I want to thank Rachel for inviting me to this collab. Remember that if you participate in this, to use the hashtag around the world 30 in 30 days JJ, so that we can see your work. And Rachel, as always, it was an honor to be a part of this collab, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed every minute of it too. And I will link my Japan travel down below, and how to get the freebies, how to pick up the kit, how to join the Facebook group so you don't miss anything that's going on. If you want to connect with me, all that will be linked down below. And as always, have a fantastic day. Bye.